just leave her.
What? What's the matter? No, I wasn't wrong.
Hey, Zed, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
This is Walking Dead Cast episode 71.
Howdy.
We've been getting gifts from people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why have I seen these gifts? So you say.
So Brittany, who had an awesome zombie sound contest, she wrote and said, I bought the first 2 Walking Dead books, and then somebody gave me a gift of the compendium.
Right.
And she goes, I want to send you guys. You can give them away to listeners. I was like, okay, cool. I thought she was just talking about the paperbacks,
Yeah,
like
right,
6 issues.
right,
But
right.
it's this, hardbound 12 issues each.
Oh,
Look
Brittany.
how this one. This says Walking Dead inside on the front. She said she was going to put it on the box, but she didn't want to forget the postman.
Brittany,
So cool. So we have two,
great.
the first 24 issues basically of The Walking Dead bound up into 2 hardback books. And, at some point we'll give these away to listeners, but I want to think of a good contest first.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe after the one we've already got going ends. By the way, I'm still going, so if you want to guess who dies first from the group that was on Herschel's farm, send us an email before the premiere of season 3, and you'll be entered to win issue 100 special edition of Walking Dead.
From the Walking Dead Escape.
Yeah, Karen, I went to.
Down San Diego. Come on. So I want this contest to be specifically great so that I will win because it's really great.
You have the compendium.
I have the compendium. I have a compendium shirt. It's a paperback compendium. It does not have this cool color.
Oh, paperback.
Yeah, I have a paperback compendium. It doesn't have
Yeah,
these. This is gorgeous because it also has drawings in it, like sketches. I mean, of course, I don't. But it's sketches of all the different characters and early sketches of the characters. You can kind of see the development. And I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is Charlie. This is from Charlie Adler. It's a sketchbook and it's really, really cool. So.
Only female co-host of Walking Dead podcast.
Yes, exactly. Good ladies.
Yeah, you'll have to exchange.
Have to pass me.
Jason or Chris.
And
And then Gracie Lou sent like 13 copies of Walking Dead 100, including this chromium one.
Dude.
That has a $10 cover on the price on the cover. And when I told the guy at my comic book store, you have the chromium edition when this came out. He's like, oh, we need to play. I go, I think $10. And he goes, oh, no. I think that's $100. He goes, they're so rare. And online about $10. I feel like going in there and showing, this is much faster. You're charging $50.
You're upset about that, right?
But anyways, this is awesome. Gracie Lou sent us all 13 copies of this.
Oh, Gracie Lou, you are fabulous.
And I haven't decided whether I'm going to keep these or give them away. Because
Wow.
I stipulated what she said to us.
Gracie Lou, do you want to clarify, please? Thank you.
No, I think it's okay. I understand. Now, this is from you. You gave this to me, and it's way too small for me.
Is it?
It's awesome. It's a t-shirt with Michonne holding her sword mightily above her head.
It's from Image Expo. And that's large. Maybe it's large.
It's
A medium.
medium, and I usually wear extra t-shirt. So, okay. I mean, it's good to have stuff to give away.
We have stuff to give away now.
Maybe we'll get, one thing we could do is give all this to whoever
Comes with the best
has, no, to whoever has the best zombie costume.
Zombie costume where?
Hey, Siri, just
Sorry, I'm
shut up, Siri.
Just kidding,
She's alone. She's like, I'm a female host.
Oh, maybe only.
Oh yeah, and
We
she
should
like,
have, like, pictures themselves.
yeah,
Zombie
so you have to be holding up a sign that says, I love the Walking Dead cast. So we know that, it's a new one.
I like
Okay,
it.
all right, we'll figure out when the deadline is, but if whoever sends us the best zombie costume, holding up, and you hold up a sign that says, I love Jason Garrett, or something like that, then you'll get this t-shirt, both of these issue 12s, both these 12 issue hardbacks, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do this. What are we doing?
Another contest, exactly. That's a different contest.
These hardbacks are, the cover prices are $35 each. So I'm not even pressing the button.
Siri is a pain in the ass. God.
It's gonna be-
Siri, shut up.
So yeah, anyways,
Where's my
let
costume?
me just figure out the details of that so I can tell you when the deadline is. But it'll be sometime after Halloween, so it won't be too much of a stretch for you making awesome zombie costumes.
Yeah.
So season 3 is just weeks away. It's like 8 weeks or something like that. Really quick.
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
Wait,
You're
what's today?
You're right. No, it's September. Today is September what?
7, so it's like 9 weeks away.
October.
Yeah,
October 14th. So that's 5 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's 5 weeks away. Exactly what I was thinking. I don't know. So it's 5 weeks away. We have 2 more episodes in between that, and that fits in nicely with our rewatch next time. This episode, by the way, is the focus is a rewatch of season 2 episodes 1 through 4, which I'm going to watch and hope you did too. And then next time we'll do 5 through 9, and then we'll finish off with 10 through 13. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's first get into the latest news about Walking Dead. I mentioned this last time, but Walking Dead season 2 is now out on DVD and Blu-ray, which is one reason I watched it on Blu-ray.
And it's got, I think one version has this terrific sculpture.
I know.
Yeah,
I didn't get
so
that.
cool.
I wish we have now.
And
Because a lot of our listeners did.
Yeah, it's really, really, really cool. Isn't it McFarlane too?
Is it?
I think so. I
Okay.
think it's a McFarlane model of a zombie with a screwdriver in the eye socket.
Nice. Oh, is that one? That's the RV one?
Yeah, the RV guy. Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
He's from, I think that's from episode 1, season 2?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And if you have pictures of it, you are thinking about it, go to our website, WalkingDead.com, there's an Amazon link on there. And if you click, even if you click an item, there's only 2 items on there. If you click one of those and you buy something else on Amazon, you get a little kickback. So that's, and it doesn't cost anything for you.
That's cool.
Next, there's a new Walking Dead poster. You know how every year they have like a poster. The first one showed all the cars coming out of Atlanta on one side, and the other side was empty and Rick was going on the
Yeah,
course.
right.
And the next one I think showed Rick running towards the farmhouse.
Yes.
So this is this year's. What does it say? It shows him standing on the side of the bus that's turned outside, out in front of the jail. It looks like.
Yep, out from prison, and he's got his arms straight out holding a gun, and it says, "Fight the dead, fear the living."
And he's got his police outfit on.
He sure does.
Which I thought he put away.
Minus the sheriff's hat.
You know, I remember in the episode we just saw, he put away. It looked like he was kind of retiring the outfit.
Well, yes, the shirt and badges. Yeah.
And does it come back later in the season? I don't remember.
I remember coming back.
Yeah, I don't remember coming back.
But
Right now he's at the jail. He's like,
Right.
So anyway, it's cool. I like how Walking Dead always have a similar color palette. It's kind of orange and brown looking, very apocalyptic.
AMC has, man, like, all their shows they do right.
Yeah, visually, huh?
Oh my god, yeah. Well, we just finished up watching Breaking Bad,
Yeah,
the first half of the last season, and yeah, it was visually a feast.
I think the most consistently great element of The Walking Dead is the visual cinematic quality of it, the framing and the tone and everything. And even just being on the show, when I'm out there, and the stuff we filmed and I saw on camera, it looked different.
Yeah,
They
sure.
treat it to make it look more cinematic.
Right.
And something like it quite spread. It's cool. Okay, so this is going to be a long one. We had this awesome article that had a series of responses from the cast responding to criticism of season 2 of The Walking
Was
Dead.
that the Entertainment Tonight, Entertainment Weekly magazine about you?
I don't know if it was in there. I found this on the website. It might have been, but it was also on the website. So I'm going to read a lot of what is in this article because I think it's interesting. But the rest of it, if you want to check it out, is at insidetv.ew.com. So this is Norman Reedus' response. People are going to say whatever they're going to say anyway. I was going to try to read it in Norman Reedus' voice. It's kind of like on Walking Dead, he has this like Christian Bale, Batman kind of, hey everybody.
But a little bit of something I
I can
think.
say what I can say anyway. That's so cool.
Supermodels.
If we kill a zillion zombies last season, everyone would say there's no story line, don't fuck them. Everyone says, yeah,
Great.
fuck them. I've been trying to get in Game of Thrones. I can tell it's the future of the past. Those motherfuckers talk the whole time. So I gotta think about it or am I gonna watch it and enjoy? The pace of the season definitely end up. We're just talking faster. I'm gonna talk like this. How do you think chicks will dig you?
No.
Okay, this is from Team Ian. He says, says you take it personally because this is something that you've worked hard at, and as a group, as a collective, you feel like you put your blood, sweat, and tears into this. But at the same time, you realize that the art's restricted. You subtly give you, and then subsequently laugh and say, I can't wait for next season. You're very feeling happy about that. We know how this plays out by virtue of us filming this. So for me, it was always just like, wait for it. We get it, we're not perfect, and obviously last season wasn't perfect. So yeah, they do so much work. I mean, the thing with me is, I like the show enough to want to keep watching, but when it's not, when there's not only is it not perfect, there's some obvious flaws that can be fixed. You know, and it's like, oh, come on, I really want to love the show. You know, if it was a show that I didn't care about, then I wouldn't bother paying. I'm just like, I'm not watching anymore.
Right off.
Yeah, just right off. And I know we're ready to go right off, but there are some things even at times.
It is.
I was reminded of when I watched 4 episodes.
Suspension disbelief is you enjoying it.
So we'll get to more of that one.
Yes.
But there's a few more. Sarah Cal says when it comes to criticism of the pacing and stuff, I think the show attains a certain level of visibility. There's going to be reviews. There's going to be criticism. There's going to be controversy. I think a show like this, quite frankly, if you don't engender a certain level of criticism and controversy, we're probably not taking enough risks. But it's sort of like if the criticism is the show's too boring, then it's like,
Right.
what are you really saying? You're boring. It doesn't quite fit.
Good try, Sarah.
And she also says, I think the French genius as a writer, he's not about what happens much in my opinion, as he is about who's making it happen and why. He cares about what happens to these people if you don't know them deeply and intimately. So there's a lot more to what she said, but basically it was risky to slow down the pace and make it like a play so you get a chance to know the characters really well. And doing this, I don't watch the show and I don't read reviews. I stay out of the equation. All I knew is I always had a sense that they wanted to play it out as a big movie. They always wanted to say that it's a big story telling. If you stick with it, you'll be rewarded. I was always paying attention to Glenn's too. I tried, so I was like, I know what's coming. I remember reading a lot of press saying going more zombie, and I was like, please leave me, there's more zombie killing coming. Of course, we want to get Bounds right. We're still doing more, which one doesn't work.
He doesn't watch the show.
A lot of people don't watch shows they're on. I remember Ted Danson saying he's never watched an episode of Cheers.
Wow.
And my feeling, just my knee-jerk reaction was, I spent so much time watching your show. You should at least watch one episode. But and yeah, it's interesting because you think, oh wow, you don't have the same experience of your own show that I do. Like,
No, not at all.
yeah.
That's weird. On the other hand, I listen to the podcast.
Exactly.
It's going on, and then I'm really doesn't know.
What do you think of last week's or last time?
Chad loved it. You kidding me? Yeah, we're there. Chad, man.
He couldn't win the female co-host prize though.
Well, couple surgical alterations and
Close, sorry.
it's a hormone. We got it.
So Kirkman said, Lloyd Holden said, it's not a blame Bizarre fan thing, storytelling. I think that first of all, you can't please everybody. There's always going to be hater, but you need to develop slowly in the beginning for the story to get to know characters. To really set the conflict so you go quickly and just have this tornado of action. But it can't be like that all the time. I think they'll end up the way they were supposed to. Kirkman says, I know we're all proud of season 2 and we're happy with how it turned out. I think that once you see it as a whole, you'll see how the first half and some people say it was slow, kind of built to a cool moment and really facilitated what happened in later fast-paced episodes. I kind of agree with that. Like watching the first 4, it was more satisfying watching back than it was having to wait.
Couldn't agree more. It's a different experience when you watch them after they come out without any commercials and you watch them back to back. I did a little festival of the first 4 episodes today, and it's great.
Cool.
Completely different.
Gail and her, who's executive producer, said it's got to be put in perspective. The number of people who complain are so minor. It's a small group, but you tend to blow out of proportion. That kills me because I'm one of the people who has complaints. Like, I forget you.
You're my
If they were that happy, they would have tuned out. They would not have been around since we had this season come February when we started up again. I think everyone's right. I think everyone's right to be able to complain, but for the most part, we would not have had the investment in the characters. You need to commit to not making it at the end of the season. We hadn't spent that time the first half of the season building up character dynamic and getting to know them better. Just gonna know more effectively. She's got a big point. Next thing, because Walking Dead has 10 million likes on Facebook. AMC made a Walking Dead poster that's an homage to the social network poster. Did you see social network based on Facebook?
Yes.
So here's that poster. It shows Jesse Eisenberg as Mark Zuckerberg.
You don't get to 500 million friends without making enemies.
And Dick text over his face.
Right,
So here's theirs.
You don't get to 10 million fans without eating a few.
It's a zombie chewing on a fan. I can pretend Marquise is a fan.
It's great. I love that. Are you one of the 10 million fans on Facebook?
Oh, yeah, we are. Our podcast. I think. Yeah.
I
Two
think
of them.
it's like he's enjoying an RPG like.
RPG fan like. Next, NMC put up an interview with Glenn Mazzara. Okay, this is where the news gets just a bit spoilery, so okay, spoilers. Move on to the next section from here. Not too bad because it's obviously it's up on an interview on the website, but still. So yes, last year you said the number one secret to The Walking Dead is keeping the zombies scary. Now that season 3 presents a human danger, he updated or amended that rule. He says the number one rule is not so much keeping the zombies scary, it's keeping the show scary. Zombies are always horror, but as our folks learn to live with them, the horror becomes what people do survive and protect each other in this world, and they're willing to sacrifice to achieve their mission.
Yeah. You're so bad.
I mean, I like that it's done well, and I think it will be with the governor. But then I always also want to see some zombie scares. You know, they can't just let that go. Sometimes the comic goes several issues about the zombie inside.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
And it's done well, I don't mind so much, but then it's good when something bad happens with zombies in the next issue and get back to that.
TV also, I mean, if it's a zombie show, you expect
Yes,
something. Can I do?
totally. Yeah. And last year you expressed interest in being a zombie. What happened this season? He said there was some talk about casting my head, but I thought that might be bad luck having my severed head lying around on the ground somewhere. It's a little bit good. I just don't want to jinx it.
Wow, a severed head on the ground is bad luck.
I would say.
Because that's a severed fake head. It's good luck.
Yeah. Game of Thrones had Bush head.
That's right.
That'd be
Hey, that was just purely a coincidence. I was just props department getting a big shit in the head.
They need to have a Jim Carter head just to make okay, this is good. Every week we had short video interviews with Denai Guerrero, who plays the show in the season, and David Morsi, who's the governor. And we haven't heard much, from either one of them yet, especially Denai. So I'm going to go ahead and just play those back to back. It's like 2 minutes total. So the first one is from David Morsi, who plays the governor.
I think the difference between the governor in our show compared to in comics particularly is that we probably meet the governor earlier in his journey. We meet him with Woodbury. I think he has more complexity in the comic book when he arrives. He's very fully formed when we meet him in the comic books. And he's not in the SC, he isn't as fully formed when we meet him in the TV series. The things that make him the way he is happen to him on screen, we see them happening. And I like that. There's more complexity and more motivation and reason really. So it's a bit of a wait and see question, I guess, but that's what we're trying to do with it.
I'm really glad to do that. But they're trying to make him more human, like a real person rather than just a baddie.
Sitting there, speaking all British. He doesn't seem bad at all.
You should get him on.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll try. But the part that I didn't like is it sounded like when he said welcome to Woodbury, he was like, welcome to Woodbury. Like, still, I don't know, he just didn't hear it. Hello.
Hello, governor.
Okay, now this is the video from Denai Guerrero, who played the show.
Wasn't so much to tell you about that story, but I will tell you that they're connected to Michelle's past, and they're actually also part of her recreation. She's very, very, very creative, resourceful, and effective in how to get through. She's the princess survivor. You want her on your team, whatever it is. And so how they are now manipulated is really a manifestation of how much she is. She cut off their arms because they can't wrap her that way. She cut off their jaws because they can't wrap her that way. So she's actually making work for her. I think Michelle realizes that. I think you see other the story kind of go through how other people realize we meet Michelle after she's realized she's the higher life form. So how do you make the lower life form work for you? And that's what the text manifests. They are the lower life form working for her because she has an advantage over them, which is the brain. So she cuts off their arms, she cuts off their jaws, and she uses manuals, and she uses them to repel other zombies. It's brilliant. I hope that's smart when the apocalypse, if it comes.
So what do you think?
Oh my god, she's adorable.
I know she looks younger than I thought Michonne would a little. She looks really young. She looks like she's about 19 to me.
Yeah.
The actress.
Oh, she's so cute. She's British for some reason. She sounds.
No, she's not British.
She's from. Anyway, she's so cute. She's smiling. She's talking about
She can't play Michonne that cutesy. I know she needs to make a transformation, but she looks vibrant.
She's like badass in all the photo stills that they've shown.
Yeah, like that. That's the first time I've seen her talk, so that made me feel better about her. I mean, not that I know she's a choice, but I think she's a choice.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's it for the news. Let's go into the whole rewatch. Season 2, episodes 1 through 4. So you watched them all today.
I watched them
Fresh.
all in a row without any commercials.
Wow.
And great.
So what do you think?
Overall,
Yeah.
Overall, I'm really happy to be watching them through eyes that have seen the entire arc of the season. It makes everything so much more interesting. Some things now I find myself more picky. In other ways, I find myself able to just sort of sit back and watch unfold because I'm not quite sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for something to jump out. So it's sort of more relaxing time watching it. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's sort of a different way though. Like you always do when you watch something.
Yeah, like when you see the characters who are dead, you might look at them differently.
Oh,
Dale and
Dale,
who's dead?
Sophia,
Yeah.
Shane,
Like you see
Otis.
Sophia in the back of the car in the first episode. Rick promises he won't leave her, which is in that same episode he did leave her.
Right, exactly. He makes a lot of promises like that. A lot of I swear to you on a stack of Bible that we never go to the Grand Canyon without you, Sophia, and your mother. Yeah, he makes a lot of
And then
promises.
he'll say, "I'll be right back."
So you're small full zombies.
That's still. I mean, it just seems like such a bad decision.
There were, I know I found myself also questioning the parenting choices all over again because there are a lot of bad parenting choices. For instance, why are you going to let the kids wander around the cars with all the dead people in them? If I were Carol and Lori, I'd be like, okay, in the RV, here's some books, go sit in there. I'm gonna close the door and lock it. And I mean, they do terrible. Okay, so you're a parent now. What do you think? Now that you're a parent, you actually have a kid who's toddling around. He's a toddler.
Yeah,
Are you gonna let he's little baby shambles? Are you gonna let him wander around cars?
He's outside right now in the street.
Yeah,
I don't think he knows.
Game
Where
of
he is,
Thrones.
but you can hear him right now.
Parent choices.
Yeah, I mean, what was interesting is Rick said, or I think it was Lori who first said, always look in my sight, pointed at her eyes when they first got to the cars,
Right.
and he nodded. And then later on, Rick said the same thing. I think when he agreed that he could go off in the first Sophia, and then he said, always stay in my sight. And it didn't quite work out. Like Carl didn't quite stay in his sight, but at least at that point they were still saying it. And then really around the series, they stopped saying that.
No, whatever.
Like, it doesn't work anyway, just
Put down the swamp, it was not
but I'd forgotten that was even an issue that early on, because the series just made fun of her how nobody ever knows where Carl is.
Right, or Sophia evidently. I mean, it's like I said before, one of the keys to enjoying the series is suspending your disbelief.
Yeah, well, as with any kind of sci-fi and horror thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, some things are really easy to suspend disbelief on, like the existence of zombies. It's like, okay, I know that's not real, they're real in the show, and that's fine. But when it's somebody doing something that just doesn't seem to be human nature,
Right.
then it's sort of like, oh.
Or logical. Yeah.
I mean, the whole decision to leave Sophia, I guess he had some idea that he was going to need to be able to take out those two zombies and not risk her getting caught by one while he was dealing with the other one or something. But when he ended up doing it seemed like she could have just done this and she would have been fine.
Right.
He didn't know that, but he later on he said, but then I remember in the last episode when the zombies overtake the farm, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but Carl and Rick together, and he runs into the woods and he's like, you come with me, stay on my side. And I don't know if that was sort of like, I'm not going to make the same mistake I made with Sophia, I'll give you right with me.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I'm not going to harp on this too much. I've already said I'm a Frustrated with Carol. And Carol then spends many episodes blaming Rick and giving stink eye. She was a little girl. Why do you leave her? Well, why do you run around the people in the cars?
I didn't have any problem with her. If I was her and somebody took me off and wasn't came back without him, I'd probably kill that fucker. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was nearly enough. I wouldn't want to get the same purpose.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like if he took me away and then came back without him, and you're like, yeah, I told him to stay here while I run away. I'm like, why did you do that?
Oh, you're looking at through parasites, sure.
Hell yeah.
So another thing I have beef with, and I don't think I really love, but one thing I have beef with is at the very beginning, Rick is on Radio Morgan, and it's pretty touching actually. He gives a little monologue into the radio, allegedly doing his last broadcast Morgan, and then he gets to the point where about CDC and things work out so well, and he says at one point what the doctor there said to us was, it doesn't matter. And then I think, wait a second, that actually would have mattered a lot to Morgan. Hey, we're all infected. We know that now. The doctor was we're all infected, and when somebody dies, they're gonna come back and they're gonna try to eat you. So if that's actually news you want to share, you try to say. So yeah, it does matter actually. So
well, that whole thing, I watched the deleted scenes on Blu-ray, and there's a 15-minute segment of they filmed this whole section, and we kind of got piecemeal news saying that maybe one of the reasons everyone got let go is because they just weren't liking footage that was coming back, and I think this was it, right? So they showed it, and here Glenn started talking over it. Basically, they went back to where the Batos were, and they tried to they were gonna look for a safety there, and Batos were all zombified, but it looked like somebody had come in and shot them up. Not that they hadn't been necessarily run by zombies, and I thought it was okay. The weird part was once they saw that the place was obviously compromised and not safe, they still pushed in and went deep into the side of the building and went to lie. And that was one of the criticisms that Glenn started with. But basically, what he was saying about that whole sequence, what was wrong with it, is that it was fine for a regular episode, but for a season opener, you want to reorient people to what's going on in the show, and you want new people who are just starting to watch to kind of have a feel for what's going on.
Right.
So to me, that means that's why they had Rick saying all this in the because really the point of it was to talk about us, not talking about him, which is fine. But then it makes me feel like, okay, I wish you could be clever enough to make it something that he would normally do anyway.
Right.
And I already knew that. Like I didn't quite believe that he would be talking more, especially saying the things that he was saying. It was sort of believable, but not really. Just like they're just doing all this expository stuff to us. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh on that. But your point about like that, he would want to tell Morgan about what Jenner said. I mean, it's not about doing what people would or what normal people would do. It's about teasing us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they do these things that have two purposes, I just wish that the one purpose of what character would really feel real, and then they accomplish the other thing too, rather than accomplish the other thing, which is tease us. But like Rick would normally tell Morgan that.
Right, exactly.
Does that make sense?
It does. And it's, I mean, it's not right.
Do you agree? Do you agree that a season opener should orient the user to the show?
Yeah, but there are lots of ways to do that. Lots of ways to don't hit your head with Rick.
Yeah, I went back and watched the first few minutes of Breaking Bad season 5. I don't want to talk about the plot too much in case people listening haven't watched it, but the very first sequence was a flash forward, and if you didn't watch the show, and you didn't know. But then after the little title sequence, they did sort of replay the last scene from the season before the end. It was very brief, just a quick reminder of this is what's going on, and then right into it, it was just another episode.
Right, exactly.
15 seconds or something.
That's plenty.
Yeah.
If you're just getting into Breaking Bad, you're gonna enjoy it as much as you've seen.
Yeah, you really need to watch from the beginning, and that's just the way it is.
And that's just the way it is.
And you know why you like that too.
Right. Here's some things I loved about the first, about what lies ahead of the first one. One is it's beginning kind of Daryl becoming a badass. He does wonderful things in this episode. He hides under a pile of zombies. Remember the zombie shell by, and he hides in the zombie pile. He's just it's kind of his transformation that I really love, and he this season 2 really brought out a lot of things I love about Daryl. So that's nice. I also love the zombie going after Andrea in the RV. I thought that was an amazing sequence.
That's still one of my favorite sequences in the show. And I love how Laurie Holden plays that classic Scream Queen.
Yes.
She might not be doing that so much anymore now that she's kind of badass.
She's not.
These first episodes. Then there was another scene that I loved in the Force, none of these episodes, where she's walking, it kind of seems like one of her crews walking next to her, but then it turns out it's a zombie. And she goes, and then she falls down and she's screaming away on her button hands.
Screaming. And that's when Maggie on horseback comes up and clobbers. Exactly. And then Daryl, another great Daryl moment. The zombie at one point starts, sits up and does his little zombie moment, and Daryl shoots him with the crossbow.
Shut up. Yeah, I mean, I don't want Daryl's one-liners to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, like the body Rick, make this things with we don't like him. But next week we're doing a podcast with him. But the good thing is, like, one of my favorite lines was when Rick said, you know, Daryl, you don't have to go out on your own and help us or something, and he's like, my fell through.
I think he has also some really great moments in I think it's Cherokee Rose. He has lovely moments in Cherokee Rose. But actually, even before that, when he's walking through, I think it's in Bloodline, and he and Andrea are walking through the woods, and he's telling her about getting lost in the woods, and they come across the zombie swinging from the tent. That was actually the third Wednesday last one. And he says things, he comes across the guy himself and ended the little poem, and he says to her, dumbass, didn't even know he shoot himself in the head, and now he's a big swinging piece of bait. He told her story about getting lost in the woods, coming home, making a sandwich, it's nice. You know, I don't think he's just all about one-liners. I think he's got real substance this season.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe it's jealousy on my part because I know that he's loved. But like, I think it would have been better if he was more of a redneck with lots of biases and things. Or
you don't think Internet makes him enough of a redneck?
It's crazy. I mean, that's a weird thing. But I'm talking about like things that make us uncomfortable about real people. I mean, I've never seen Internet, so I've seen people that
I buy one because we've seen Internet.
I'm saying it's not in the real world. You know, if he seemed like a real person, it seems to me like Norman Reedus is like, I want my character to be badass and really soulful and have great one-liners and save everybody and be this cool loner and, you know, just all this stuff.
You're just jealous.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe so, but I just like, I don't know. I think it's brave of an actor to look not perfect, and he doesn't look perfect, but he's not perfect in a way that like Luke Perry wasn't perfect on 90210. You know what I mean? A brooding loner type.
I think I think the fact that he does disgusting, like remember, I mean, later on in the season, he's having some moments down the swamp where he sees his brother and hallucinates, and he eats possum and he gets real nasty and it has sets his tent way apart from the others and
no, but
not in a sexy way. And bringing in a loner scary outfit in a not sexy.
I would, so I don't agree with that. I think everything he did was sexy. I would like him a lot more if he did some things that were ugly. And maybe there's some things I've everything you said just there is the whole James Dean kind of thing. Did you separate yourself from everybody else, right? That you said you put the tent over everybody else. That's
possum
yeah, eating possum's pretty good. But you know, I mean, that actually to me is like, hey, if you're in the backwoods and you need something to eat and eat a possum, it's not a bad thing to do.
No, it's not bad.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I want to do things that are offensive. Yeah, that is weird. But that's more like a movie weird thing to do, a real life weird thing. Like that's something Hannibal Lecter would do. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, Okay. What else? Let me see. What else do you love about it?
I thought the surprise ending of they're Rick and Shane are looking at Carl going up to the stag with beautiful antlers, and it's such a gorgeous moment, and it's kind of nice, they're smiling, very peaceful, and woods nature, and then across the shot. I was really surprised.
I think I was expecting it for some reason, but it was still shocking. But rewatching this, and I think I actually felt this the first time, but when, you know, they're spending way too much time in the church, when they should be out looking for Sophia, and Rick says, "Give me a sign," to God, and then they're playing it up as if this deer is a sign with the music. And then it turns out that God is shot. And that's what I wonder. Was that supposed to be some kind of sign? What Rick specifically asked us to give me a sign that I'm doing the right thing. So was that supposed to be a sign from God that Rick's doing wrong? There's like a few different options. It's a sign from God that Rick's doing the wrong thing. It's not a sign, it's just a coincidence. Or I guess that's about it, huh? Or God is mean or something.
Right, and
and later on Rick says to Herschel, you know, God's got a twisted sense of humor. And in this case, actually, it's really right to have a twisted sense of humor. But my point is, that scene, I don't think it meant anything. I think it was just a way to get us to think that there was one thing that happened so that they could shock us. You know, and I wish that there was some kind of a deeper meaning to it rather than just let's leave down this one and think this and shock them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I had to get them to Herschel's farm somehow, and that seemed like mechanism to get them there. Maybe.
Oh no, but I mean, I know that, and that's fine. But I mean, having Carl get shot so that they could get everyone to the farm is fine. Also, even just the shot, I love the shot endings, the comic does that all the time. But I just wish that the whole thing with Rick trying to talk about God and getting that as a sign would have had some kind of a deeper meaning. And I guess the most kind of meaning that has is, hey, this is a fucked up bleak reality.
Right.
And if you believe in God, you better question it.
This is the start also of the season. Did a lot of philosophical questioning, big questions about do we live or die? At the end of
Should we kill ourselves?
at the end of season 1, we're in CDC, and people are making choices to go be annihilated or meet your escape. They're trying to make your escape into in the world of the living and the living dead. And this whole season is all about that. It's all about the big philosophical choices. And so they're sitting there, sort of, that's one of the things they do. It's one of the components is questioning live or die. I think it was in one of these. I can see me watching all the legacy. Okay, so one of these, he after being crawls out of the woods, and he talks to Lori, and Lori is flipping out. She's worried that she might be pregnant, and she's wondering what kind of world would we want. Is this we bring a child into it? What are we doing? Why are we trying to save Carl for this world? And he tells her, the thing in this world, he saw Carl woke up and talked about the deer. He saw beauty and he saw nature, and it was a beautiful thing for him. So even in this world, he saw something good. So that's why we should know. He's giving her a message of hope. And so that's the theme throughout this whole season 2. Hope for why live. What's your choice, Andrea? Do you live or die? Is it habit that you're living, or is it a choice that you're going to make?
And I guess like this thing with Carl getting shot, it's just more tests becoming the test the resolve.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now you still want to live.
Right.
And before even Carl, I think it was before United, when Carl was unconscious, Lori was saying, maybe this is the right thing. Maybe this isn't a world for children. And later on, she's like fighting with Andrea about holding on to the little thing. She's kind of on the other side of the argument. I guess maybe when Carl survived, she decided, yes, let's go with this.
And probably in a world like this, you are swinging back. Back and forth. Some days it probably seems like, what are we doing? Probably some days, even in the pre-apocalypse that we have in this world, people ask themselves probably all the time, normal question, what are we doing exactly? But
are we?
Oh, actually, I saw Rose.
Oh,
Bloom bright
I saw deer in the chat.
So
So I like it feels like these first 4 episodes have more T-Dog than later ones.
They do.
I like that.
Yeah.
He's good.
I do.
And I believe that they're holding on to him to have conflict with Merle in season 3. But I hope that they don't just have him have conflict and then get killed by Merle. I want to see other stuff with him because I don't want him to just be like, let's use him to talk about race.
Right. There's some pretty sweet scenes between him and Dale.
Yes.
And also that's another thing. Dale. God, I forgot how much I really like him.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes me very sad seeing now having lost Dale.
He's always got a look on his face like something's wrong.
Really? Oh, he's
Check out that one of our listeners sent us that postcard there. It says, chances are Dale, this is what you're doing. He has a scowl on his face. I can do it.
That's pretty funny.
I don't think Dale in the comic quite had that scowl sometimes. But anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, Dale's great.
He had some very sweet. He was definitely a character that spoke to our better natures. And I think you can see it from the very beginning. Yes, and now he's dead. So
Look at Glenn. One of my very favorite things that I always felt good about, I think, are any scenes with Glenn and Maggie.
Yeah.
I mean, that was consistently great. I thought him being so awkward with her, and you could tell she was kind of interested but dubious about him. Like, he's cute, but he's kind of smoky. Yeah, doofy, yeah.
he's
But then the whole scene in the pharmacy with the best where he's like, I've never had sex. I'm lost. Like, I always try to sometimes I say, I'm lost. And see what the person says.
I would never have sex. Because you're on the floor doing about 3 minutes.
And then they're coming back, and he's just got this big smile, and he's about to say something, and she just turns over it.
I know, that was great. That was great. One thing, except for more. Yeah, she's beautiful, and yeah, that was a nice little light part of being on the farm. Also, can I just say, I know I was hating on the farm because they were there the whole season, or big chunk of the season they were there.
I mean, it had excursion.
Yeah, you know what? They got there in season. They got there in episode 2, right? And they couldn't stay there. The season finale when some zombie extras trying.
Like, get off the farm. I work with this.
Like barn on fire. But I forgot how beautiful that the house is. It's lovely. It lends itself to some gorgeous scenes. And at one point, even Herschel says to Rick, take a moment and just look at this. And they stand on the porch together, and you see past them, and you notice. I guess I didn't really notice before. They're actually up on a hill, or maybe that's they're painting on that. Oh, were they? It's gorgeous. I mean, it was absolutely stunning, and the sky and the trees. Oh, so beautiful.
When that's about you talk about when I was there.
No, what?
So one of the most beautiful things, they were all night shoots. When I was there, they had these really tall, super bright lights all around the perimeter, and it just made it feel. And then on the other side, I think it was like just pure blackness. So it was like the barn and the farmhouse and the whole field was just this area in the middle of the vast space. But the lights made it look all beautiful. Those big old trees and windmill.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. All of them were allowed to go near it.
Right.
I mean, go anymore. By the way, when I was there, I found out this was when this last episode with the well zombie hero. Was that the last one? That's when I was there. When that was on TV. That's when we were filming the finale. And I found out while I was there that Sophia was in the barn and that Shane was going to die.
How do you find that out?
Because all the extras were talking about it.
Really?
Yeah, because Shane wasn't there for one thing, and I saw John Bernthal walking down the road with Sarah Wayne Callies at one point, so he was hanging out on set, but he wasn't. He was gone already.
Did you see Sophia and her zombie?
No, because that was the mid-season finale. Remember, that was like episode 6. But I was filming like 13, so
Right.
she's gone. But I also what I didn't hear was that Dale was on, but I didn't notice that he was the only one not on set. So I'm like, where's Dale? And at that point, I was like, nobody told me anything else. So the whole time we were doing a podcast, I knew Sophia was going to be in the barn, and I know that scene just I can tell by how people react to it. It was really impactful, but I'll never feel that because I already knew she was coming out at the end, and so it didn't have the same impact for me. It sucks being spoiled and stuff.
Breakfast.
I mean, I could have. I think they even said, I already know a lot. I think it's basically actually. I already know a lot. You want to hear it? I'm like, okay. Shane's dead. Damn it, why did I?
Yes, go. Hey, when did you do high school?
The whole segment. I mean, a lot of times I was watching this, I remember what we said before, and what we said is they should save a few flares for on the way out, and that's what I was thinking. Damn it.
Yes.
But no, I really liked it.
What, now, I don't remember how you felt on which side of the fence, but with Shane shooting Otis.
I think Shane is a lovable guy and totally such shit. Back then, I was completely against it. I just thought it was totally effed up, and me and Lee used to talk about that. I don't think he listens anymore, but now watching this time, I wasn't quite as far over on that side. I think what happened was Shane did offer to let Otis go first. He said, "You go, leave me here," and Otis was like, "No, I'm not leaving you behind." And Shane slammed his fist, damn it. And then they were running away, and I think in Shane's mind he realized, or at least he thought, and I don't necessarily agree with this, but he truly believed we're not both going to get out of here. One of us has to sacrifice himself, and I think, but at that point, he could have still wanted to do it. He could have still ran headlong into the zombies and let them devour him. So he chose Otis, and I don't know if how much thinking he wanted to do this, but it could just been because he's like, Otis wouldn't sacrifice himself before, but he doesn't have what it takes to protect the people I love. Only I do, and so he chose at that point to sacrifice Otis. I mean, I still think it was the wrong thing to do, but I'm not quite as hard on Shane as I was myself before. And I like that during the funeral in the next episode, he looks so shameful
Yes,
down his head. And I'm glad that like later on he just gets more and more rooted in his position. But I'm glad he didn't start off so righteous. It felt more like a real character. He's still trying to justify and rationalize it, but he was really not that balanced by what happened.
John Bernthal did a really good job.
Little bitchy, but he did a great job.
Yeah. Let's see again. I still believe that he shouldn't have. I think I could have gotten away. But it's hard. Cameron Wilson, the zombies were shambling fairly slow, and they had a pretty good start on them. But I still, okay, so maybe it was one that had to be sacrificed. Okay, but shooting Otis in the knee.
Also, that he would be crashing around, so the zombies would.
I think some still would have devoured him and spent some time.
But fighting them off, it would take him a little longer.
Yeah,
I was the point of that.
I guess shooting him in the head would have. And also now he's gonna come back as a zombie, or
No, he's devoured.
He's come back as nothing. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, because he really took big risk, and he couldn't get the backpack off him, and that's the whole point of being there, to get medical supplies in the backpack. So he had the backpack, otherwise it would have completely pointless. And the guy was thrashing around fighting him, and he almost got devoured. He almost ruined the whole thing by shooting him in the knees of the head, and also how awful getting by zombies.
I know.
It was a really awful scene, and I felt really bad. But yeah, for the zombies.
I felt bad for Shane having to watch that. Plus, he got a little crack on his head.
Yeah, nobody likes that. But nice haircut. You got a shake head. There's no blunt on there as well. Nice haircut. You got a shake head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a shake head.
I like how Shane punches zombies sometimes. That's cool. He's punched a couple different
That's hilarious.
Like the one that lurched out at him and saying from the window.
Yeah,
and
it's hilarious. We did well zombie.
I think the well zombie is totally awesome, and I think it's really cool that they had the idea of a waterlogged zombie. But it's just something about the scene ridiculous that the well is clearly already contaminated, so just seal it off. Don't worry about trying to zombie out. And two, going down with a loop. And plus, he was screaming. It's like, get out of here. When do you have time to wrap that around the zombie's armpits?
Plus, they were all 6 adults struggling mightily to bring up little Blair. And I'm like, what is he, 120 pounds away?
So I mean, obviously kind of picky. And to be honest, for the most part, I didn't enjoy these episodes as much on rewatch as I did in the first season. I didn't enjoy them still, but I remember really liking the later episodes a lot better. So I hope that holds up.
I think I even said something like the second half of the second season was better for me.
Yeah, I mean, I still liked it, and there were some things that I just loved. I did like the whole sequence of the high school. And even though I'm not totally on board with Shane, I like that. Like I said before, I like the guy like that. It's a show that had drama.
Right, I agree.
And I believe there are guys that would act like that. So
I agree.
unbelievable. Let's see. There are a couple of things that I marked that I really want to talk about. I don't see my marks. A couple cool lines. One cool line. Patricia says she's fixing up T-Dog, and she's like, "Where'd you get the antibiotics?" And he's like, "Oh, Merle had." Or I guess Lynn says Merle had the clap, and I mean neural disease, and that's why they had antibiotics. And then Patricia says, "I'd say Merle gets his clap is about the best thing that's happened to you to T-Dog." I'm really trying to think about that.
Yeah, that was another great Daryl line. Merle gets a clap on occasion.
Yeah.
He gets a clap on occasion and has to carry antibiotics around in his little satchel. That's a lot of clap.
I liked how the episode with Shane shooting Otis, that whole sequence was how it was skipping around in time. That episode started showing Shane shaving his head, so you wonder, oh, he's really intense. What's going on here? Then you see them back at the school trying to get away from zombies. They're helping each other out, over and over again. And then, but they look like they're in trouble. And then you see Shane coming back to the house alone, and you don't know what happened yet. And he's got this like sad look on his face, and like, where's Otis? He's like shaking his head, no, he didn't make it.
Right.
Like, oh man, what happened? Notice? Then you go back,
Yeah.
and then you see Shane shaving his head again. And you're probably seeing what really happened, and
Right.
big reveal at the end.
Yeah, it was really well done. You're absolutely right.
Well, you know how they have the Hyundai featured so prominently.
yeah.
Well, I noticed that in Rick's story about Shane,
It was
in high school,
Hyundai.
yeah, he mentions Hyundai, and he pronounces it really clearly and slowly.
Yeah, Hyundai.
I noticed that in the funeral scene. Well, at the very end of the series, when they meet on the road next to the Sophia car, at the very end, after the zombies storm the farm, Herschel has this blazer on jacket, and people are wondering where did he get that? 'Cause he didn't have it on. He had a shotgun and he was shooting all zombies, and I noticed that he was wearing it in the funeral scene, so at least it didn't just
Magically
come out of nowhere.
appear.
Like, he would
Yeah,
have had to have been keeping it in his truck.
Maybe he gets in the truck.
Yeah, it's good to have a blazer in his truck. I always say that. And then you were saying that a lot of the themes are about living or dying, when you live or die. And I wasn't as mad at Andrea this time as I was when I first watched this. I was really mad at first because I wanted her to be grateful that Dale saved her life.
Right.
But she's throughout these 4 episodes, she hasn't still quite decided whether she wants to live or not.
Yeah.
She's not sure, and so I can see her being mad at Dale for not giving her that choice. Although technically she did have the choice, she just would have had to take him with her, which was his choice.
Right.
But still, she hasn't decided she wants to. The thing that gets me is later on, obviously she does decide she wants to live, and she's still mad at Dale. At that point, you think she would say, "Okay, I'm glad you did that because now I want to live, and if you hadn't done that, I'd be dead."
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard to know. I don't remember how I felt the first time I watched it. I think I was like you. I was sort of mad that she wasn't more grateful. Because obviously, it's how nice is it to have somebody who cares about you.
Yeah.
She gets all in his face about, you don't know who I am. I'm nobody to you. And, you shouldn't care about me. Why do you care if I live or die? And I think you don't have that many friends in the zombie apocalypse. There's not that many people left. It's lovely having this nice gentleman care about you.
Yeah, all he did was stop her from killing herself.
Yes.
But I could still see it's an emotional thing having gone through a lot. She lost her sister and she just wanted to die. And when you're emotional like that, you lash out. I can see that.
Yeah.
It's just that I just don't get why later on she just kept being rude to him.
Does she? I can't remember that.
We'll see. We're gonna be watching the rest of these.
We'll see.
But if you decided you wanted to shoot yourself and I could take the gun away from you, I would take it away.
Aw,
Even
Lisa.
if you were fighting me.
I would give you the choice.
Thanks. That's really sweet. All right, let's take a little break. Okay?
Yes.
We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. It's time for listener drones.
This email comes from Bradley Strange, our buddy Bradley. He says, our movie's going great. We had to scrap the tank.
Remember they're making a zombie movie?
Yes.
Zombie war movie.
Tank.
They almost killed themselves with that mortar shell they put in backwards.
Yes. We just scrapped the tank since there was a problem with getting the bulldozer treads, but we will be doing a full-scale battle of Yonkers with LAVs, Abrams, and AH-1 Super Cobras. It's going to be epic. Our plan is to have it mimic the Hilltop battle from 2005 film War of the Worlds starring Tom Cruise.
He sent me a link to that and I watched it and it was this really intense war scene of people running around all over shooting each other in tanks and stuff. So I can't wait to see this. Yeah, keep us updated, Bradley. And I'm sorry for laughing about the mortar, but I'm glad that you're safe.
Please stay safe, Bradley, and be remembered.
I can't wait to hear more. This from Zach. Hey guys, thought I would take a well-deserved moment from my crappy job to share a thought about Merle. I'm sorry if I beat a dead horse, but I had to jump ahead to your most recent podcast to hear your thoughts on comics. When I saw the trailer for season 3 and got a jolt of Merle, I started thinking about what happened to him and all that heady shit. But I figured he had to have thrown in with the governor. They seem like like-minded rednecks. Plus, there's like 2 seasons worth of Merle and Daryl tension. Will Merle get Daryl to leave Rick's group and go over to the governor, or things are probably a little more to his liking? Hedonism, booze, Merle's meth, and some hookers in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. I just think that Merle being the governor's main enforcer group would really kick the season in the ass. Don't know if anyone had brought that up yet or not. Sleep with one eye open so zombies don't eat toenails like genius.
Wow.
Signed Merle.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, I agree. That would be cool.
And by the way, thanks for reminding me, Merle's meth, the crystal blue persuasion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think that's a lot of meth that he had there.
how much is that? You
I don't know.
Breaking Bad?
I was going to go no Breaking Bad thing. I'll say something. I wish they'd show more on Breaking Bad what effects the meth has on the population.
Yeah, right.
Maybe show that side a little bit more because it's devastating.
Maybe they will.
Or maybe some people. Yeah, I hope they will. Anyways, I think that's, I don't know, but I'm guessing that's $1,000 worth of meth. He must be a dealer.
He must be, and that's good stuff, man. That's not
Yeah, it's the best.
It is. It is very pure.
Okay, that only email this week. Seth Peterson, LA, tweeted us though, and he says, "Got my Halloween horror Walking Dead AMC tickets October 25th. Come on down." And then he sent this really cool looking zombie thing. He looks like a zombie clown.
He does look like a zombie clown.
He's got this dainty flower in his hand.
And he's smiling.
Yeah,
He's smiling. And yeah, that could be an entry for our contest.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think CG's allowed, is it? That would be more like an art contest, I'd say. I don't know if you call it CG, but I think this is really he just did it on the computer.
Really?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. But I don't know, let us know how to do that. He offered to do that to our pictures. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, my friend Tim asked me to go down to this thing, so we haven't got tickets yet though, and I understand they sell out, so I'm gonna look into it. Seth, if I come and not Aaron, do you still want to hang out?
Yes. I mean, why yes, Jason, I do want to hang out.
Wait, he talks like this. No, I don't. Okay, so I posted on Facebook saying we're doing this rewatch, and I liked everyone's responses. Would you mind reading them?
Sure, yeah. Tom says, just bought the DVDs this weekend and watch it periodically through the week. Brittany says, excellent, just got my zombie head season 3 in the mail. Brittany, it's so cool. Jerry says, got my zombie head in the mail as well. Named it Flip.
Nice. I think it's Flip's open
Oh,
now.
it's so cute. Jennifer says, long got my head in the mail.
Everyone got a head.
What?
Everyone's getting
I
heads.
know, everyone got a head. God, it made my day. Started rewatching yesterday, and I have to say the first 6 episodes view so much better all at one time instead of a week apart. Tension builds better, and you just notice how little time elapses from the time Sophia disappears to the time they find her in the barn.
That's true. I agree with that.
Still some lulls in a few episodes when Herschel and Rick have their talks, but still views so much better as a group. Couldn't agree with you more, Jennifer. Danielle says, thank goodness I saved it on my DVR. I guess Faulkner and Homework will have to wait. Oh, wow. Wow. Walking Dead trumps Faulkner. Kirkland trumps Faulkner. Yeah, and Faulkner was the cinematic. Susan says, if Atlanta was bombed, why is there no evidence of it in any of the scenes set after that event, or did I miss it?
The scenes that we see are set in the areas that didn't get bombed.
That's your story. Okay. Ken says, I have this weird feeling that Michonne and Andrea may hook up in the TV show.
Gracie Lou says,
Feeling or fantasy?
what makes you say that? And or shall I say, hope that? So on iTunes we got a review from Furious B187, 5 stars on your fix, says, Zippy the zombie, your hair's too long, love Karen. That wasn't for you, was it?
No. That's funny.
All right, so we went to the news from Zombie Gone?
Let's do. All right, it has been kind of quiet week in like Zombie Gone. There are some, I think, some interesting stories in news. One of them is that yet another federal government agency has warned us of the upcoming zombie apocalypse and asked us to prepare. It's a thing. It's a total thing. Zombies are coming. This is from actually AP News Wire. Zombies are coming. Homeland Security Department says, tongue firmly in cheek, or is it? The government urges citizens Thursday to prepare for a zombie apocalypse. Part of a public campaign to encourage better preparation for genuine disasters and emergencies. The theory: if you're prepared for a zombie attack, the same preparation will help you during a hurricane, pandemic, earthquake, or terrorist attack.
Yeah, if there's a hurricane, I want to make sure I have my flamethrower.
And hatches. It will come in handy. The FEMA hosted an online seminar for its Citizen Corps organization to help emergency planners prepare their communities for disaster. The Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention last year launched first launched a zombie apocalypse social media campaign for the same purposes, and that was huge. You all probably remember that. Emergency planners were encouraged to use preventive zombies of flesh hungry Walking Dead to encourage citizens to prepare for disasters. Organizers also noted the relative proximity to Halloween. Really? God, so sad. A few of the government agency suggestions track closely with some of the 33 rules for dealing with the zombies popularized in the 2009 movie Zombieland, which included always carry a change of underwear and when in doubt, no way out. By the way, I don't think that they're missing some of the best rules.
Always double tap.
Always double tap. And cardio, people cardio. Speaking of cardio, that brings me to my next story, which actually NPR did a news story about it. It was kind of cute. To some runners, zombies are a killer motivator. Some people run for charity, some run for help, and some run because the only way to escape the ravenous brainy zombies to chase them. No, that's not a movie plot. It's essentially a picture run for your lives, a zombie-infested 5K obstacle race, whose popularity has surprised even its organizers. And basically, they go on to say that they expected a couple people to show up for their first run for your lives event back in Baltimore last October, which was amazing to me. That was only a year ago, and one of the organizers said that 12,000 people ended up showing up, and it's been huge. I know, right? They're saying that people are signing up by thousands, and they should finish 2012 with 75,000 to 85,000 participants in the 12 races, and that's huge. I've done a lot of 10K races, and it's unbelievable. During the race, we runners to the course wearing health flags, just like in flag football, on their waists, and then the zombies try to grab their flags, and that's how they do it. Which actually I think is better than being tagged by zombies. We were tagged by zombies.
I don't think so.
I think flags are better, man. Why do you think flags are worse?
Well, I thought it was because flags, I don't know, it just feels like flag football. And so I thought it was cool because they had a whole black light thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I didn't understand that not every zombie is tagged, maybe dead. I thought that any
I'm not
zombies.
sure about that because maybe some had gloves and some didn't, but they all had powder on their hands.
No, apparently powder wasn't the thing. It was like Tide laundry detergent, liquid Tide.
Or whatever.
And the ones that had gloves had liquid Tide on it.
How do you know
Because remember the zombies in the bar told us.
Oh, they did.
I had some drinks, certainly, but I remember that
Interesting. I know. I thought it was a more elegant solution because I guess the biggest reason is the tags kind of take me out of it a little bit. The flags. I mean,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah, better they just grab you or something.
Even better if they
Yeah,
did. And their teeth had like sort of powder on them. You could see the fibers. So the article goes on to
or
say.
anyone got chunks of flesh missing, you knew that they were infected.
Right, you could cut it open their stomachs.
Yeah.
The zombies wanted to see. So the article goes on to talk about how people train with like a zombie app, Zombies Run, which I have trained with before and I enjoy. And it's kind of fun. So NPR is like a new thing, but of course it's kind of old hat. And it's sort of great because they say later in the article they say the race draws a wide range of athletes. We're getting a lot of people saying, hey, this is the first time I've had these in run. I think we found a niche of people who usually have hobbies that were indoors, like video games and comic books and that sort of thing. But the love of zombies can get them off the couch and do something maybe a little healthier. It's not
I
hilarious.
almost died in watching this.
People do not think he's kidding. So all this talk of running and preparing and all that stuff that may have peppered you out listening to a little segment. Now you can go to a movie and relax. And the movie that I'm going to tell you about is one that I believe is in theaters right now, Paranorman. I believe it is. And I believe it's in some places. And I just read a review. I didn't know that Paranorman was a zombie movie.
Oh, I didn't either.
Yeah. The young protagonist, Norman, is himself far from conventional, and unlike most kids his age, the lonely outcast has a special gift. He sees and talks to dead people. His ability as a medium becomes useful when zombies begin rising from the dead. Norman must find the unmarked graves of Agatha, the angry young witch who could curse on the town's founding fathers, the people who condemned her in 1712. Still unconvinced? We don't want to spoil the movie going fun for you, so we'll just say that the film has a happy zippy mismatch of The Walking Dead and Wicked, yes, musical, though Ghosts and Zombies don't sing, and naughty dash of Carly Rae Jepsen's Tommy Lee. Okay, exactly.
So could you tell me like it sounds
Yeah,
like
they really liked it, and it's a zombie movie. I was surprised that it was a cute animated zombie movie, so I really wanted to see it. All right, folks, that's the news of Zombie Gone, where all women are dead, all men are bad looking, and all the children are brain eating freaks.
Right, that's our show, episode 71. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody.
Thanks,
I said that when Chad was on, and I was waiting for him to say thanks, everybody, like he always did.
He was just dead air,
Yeah,
and you're all sad.
And I waited for like 5 minutes.
Thank you on behalf of Chad, who was not polite. Thank you for listening.
Never happened back.
Love you, Chad.
So I thought we'd spend a few minutes just talking about politics.
That's a great idea. Actually, there was a because AMC is having this fight with Dish still. Apparently, there were zombie presidential candidates.
Oh, yeah,
at the
DNC.
yeah, a president, and he was a zombie candidate.
Okay, that's not about politics. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I just want to mention that I still haven't had a chance to play episode 3 of Telltale's Walking Dead game, but I want to, and I hope to before next podcast. About it. A review that seems to say wasn't quite as good as the second episode. Another review that said it's the best one. So and I also just wanted to thank you guys for those of you that have gone on iTunes and reviewed us. We've gotten a few more lately, and it makes us feel good.
It makes you feel good. I don't feel good. I can't bear it. That's great.
And it helps us get noticed.
Really like Jason's awesome. Why you have that giggly carry on?
No, it's too. So next time in a couple of weeks we'll be going through episodes 5 through 9 of season 2. So I think you guys should all watch those and let us know what you thought about it. Meantime, if you'd like to leave us a message, you can call us at 650-45-DEAD. That's 650-45-3323.
You can email us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
You can check out our website in the comments at walkingdeadcast.com.
We're also on Twitter at Jason Karen and on Facebook at Facebook.com/Davis.
Okay, that's our show.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget,
Jason
Jason Taylor.